In this podcast episode, Dr. Frank Anderson, a renowned trauma expert and psychiatrist, discusses the pervasive impact of trauma on individuals and offers insights into healing and rediscovering oneself. Anderson emphasizes that trauma is not limited to major events, but can also stem from smaller experiences that affect one's well-being. He highlights that 70% of adults in the U.S. have experienced some form of traumatic event, showcasing the prevalence of trauma in society. Anderson delves into the concept of big T trauma and little t trauma, explaining that both types can have lasting effects on individuals. He stresses the importance of addressing and processing these traumas to prevent them from negatively impacting one's life. The podcast explores the challenges individuals face when confronting their traumas, especially when it involves disappointing or disconnecting from family members or societal expectations. Anderson discusses the importance of choosing oneself over external pressures and finding the courage to be authentic, even if it means going against the norms or expectations of others. A key concept Anderson introduces is that the body keeps score, meaning trauma is stored in the body through thoughts, emotions, and physical sensations. Releasing trauma involves acknowledging and thanking one's protective responses and trauma symptoms. By practicing active listening and curiosity towards these responses, individuals can begin the process of releasing stored trauma energy. Anderson introduces the 4 T's to trauma healing as a framework for addressing and releasing trauma. The first T involves thanking one's trauma responses and understanding that they are attempts to protect oneself. By approaching these responses with curiosity and compassion, individuals can begin to unravel the underlying reasons for their behaviors and emotions. The second step, trust, encourages individuals to reconnect with their inner wisdom and intuition. Anderson highlights the importance of listening to one's gut instincts and reclaiming a sense of self-trust that may have been lost due to past experiences. The third step, transform, focuses on the process of healing trauma by sharing the experience, having a corrective experience, and ultimately releasing what no longer serves or belongs to the individual. Anderson explains the importance of not just reliving the trauma, but rather sharing it in a way that allows for a release of negative energy. He emphasizes the need for corrective experiences that disconfirm the trauma and provide a sense of love and connection, both internally and externally. The final step, take back your power, involves reclaiming one's sense of self and autonomy after releasing trauma. Anderson shares personal experiences of finding love and forgiveness towards those who have caused harm, as well as towards oneself. He discusses the transformative power of self-love and forgiveness in the healing process, highlighting the importance of releasing what is no longer serving the individual. Anderson also introduces internal family systems therapy as a modality that focuses on accessing the self-energy within individuals to heal trauma. He explains the concept of parts within the self, including protective parts and wounded parts, and how these parts can manifest in behaviors such as control, protection, and criticism. By understanding and working with these parts, individuals can begin to release trauma and rediscover themselves. Throughout the podcast, Anderson emphasizes the cumulative nature of trauma healing, noting that it is a process that unfolds over time and through repeated releases. He discusses the importance of integrating various trauma modalities and approaches to provide comprehensive healing for individuals. He also touches on the role of love in transcending trauma, highlighting the power of connection, compassion, and self-love in the healing journey. The conversation delves into the dynamics of parent-child relationships, particularly when parents project their unresolved traumas onto their children. Anderson shares his personal experience of struggling with reactive behaviors towards his own children before embarking on a journey of healing and self-discovery. He acknowledges the significance of addressing one's own trauma before attempting to confront or set boundaries with others, especially family members. Anderson reflects on the process of shifting emotionally and overcoming depression and suicidal thoughts by prioritizing self-love and healing. He emphasizes the importance of resilience and the continuous effort to repair past wounds rather than repeating or repressing them. Through his own journey, Anderson has learned to release triggers and reactions that were rooted in his traumatic experiences, allowing him to respond to challenging situations with more compassion and understanding. The discussion also touches on the topic of setting boundaries in relationships, particularly with family members or loved ones who may trigger unresolved traumas. Anderson advises approaching boundary setting from a place of love and self-respect, rather than reactive or protective responses. He shares personal anecdotes of navigating difficult conversations with family members while maintaining a sense of self-worth and compassion. Anderson addresses the trend of trauma dumping, where individuals share their traumas online without proper processing or healing. He cautions against oversharing before addressing one's own wounds, as it can perpetuate a cycle of re-traumatization and reinforce negative neural networks. He advocates for healing first before confronting perpetrators or sharing vulnerable experiences, emphasizing the importance of internal alignment and compassion towards oneself and others. The conversation also explores the difference between reliving trauma and being with it, highlighting the transformative power of acknowledging and sitting with painful emotions without getting consumed by them. Anderson encourages individuals to seek support from professionals or peer groups when needed, while also exploring creative outlets such as writing to process and heal from trauma. Anderson delves into the concept of relational trauma, which stems from experiences of abuse, neglect, or other forms of mistreatment in relationships. He explains how relational trauma can lead to feelings of shame, worthlessness, and disconnection from oneself and others. Anderson emphasizes the role of shame in blocking peace, harmony, and happiness, noting that shame often arises from traumatic experiences and can be deeply ingrained in one's sense of self. The discussion also touches on the use of prescription drugs in treating mental health issues related to trauma. Anderson acknowledges the benefits of medication in certain cases, but cautions against using drugs as a replacement for doing the emotional work necessary for healing. He stresses the importance of addressing trauma through therapy and other healing modalities, rather than relying solely on medication to alleviate symptoms. Anderson shares personal experiences of working through trauma and the transformative power of therapy and self-discovery. He highlights the significance of acknowledging and processing past wounds, even when it feels overwhelming or challenging. He encourages individuals to take a phased approach to healing, addressing one issue at a time and gradually working through layers of trauma. The conversation also explores the impact of neglect and lack of affection on emotional development. Anderson discusses how individuals who did not receive love and attention in childhood may struggle to express emotions and connect with others later in life. He emphasizes the importance of learning to love and accept oneself, even in the absence of parental affection, and offers insights into how individuals can cultivate self-compassion and emotional resilience. Anderson's book, To Be Loved, a memoir of truth, trauma, and transformation, is highlighted as a resource for individuals seeking to reclaim themselves and find healing from past traumas. The book chronicles Anderson's own journey of overcoming trauma and offers insights into the complexities of the human experience. Anderson's work with the Trauma Institute is also mentioned as a valuable resource for those looking to explore trauma healing through courses and training programs. Lastly, Anderson is asked to reflect on the 3 truths he would leave behind if it were his last day on Earth. He emphasizes the importance of love, connection, and healing trauma as fundamental aspects of human existence. He underscores the power of love and kindness in fostering personal growth and emotional well-being, highlighting the transformative potential of healing from past traumas.